and broadcasting the session. Yes. Go live. Check. There we are. Live.
Esto es el video por el día de la historia. Esto es el video por el día de la historia.
Okay. Now we are officially on YouTube, and you can find the link on the WhatsApp group. So the session is being broadcast, and I have everyone here. Share my screen with you. Okay. Can you see my screen now? Yes, I see Osvaldo giving me a thumb up.
Okay.
Screen, perfect. Okay, guys. So today's class is about reading. Specifically, we're gonna make predictions before reading. It is a very important skill. There are times when I need to read something, but I have to decide whether it is something interesting or not. So I start making predictions using some strategies to decide what kind of information I might find in the text. Also, we're going to infer the meaning of words by using context. Not always do we have access to a dictionary. There are times, for example, in exams, when you cannot use the dictionary. So it is important to understand, or at least infer, guess, the meaning of words using the context. And that's something that we're going to practice today. Also, we're going to use keywords in the text to put it together. Okay, there are times when we connect and find specific words in a text that will help you understand what's the text about, what comes next, so we anticipate the information that we will read. And we will be reading for a specific information, because it is true that there are times when we don't need to read everything. We just need to find the specific part in the text and then find the information that we need. For example, when you are reading an agenda, or when you're reading a timetable at the airport, you just need to find a specific information. That's something that we will practice today. Okay, so this is handout number 7. Our handout is already here on resources in Google Classroom, but I am sharing the link with you as well. So let me copy the link here. And there it is. Please open the link from the chat box. I see there are 4 people online. Good. Let's begin. Look at activity A. Read the instruction, please. we are working with pictures and questions, right? So here are our pictures and the questions there. I'm gonna put you guys in breakout rooms so that you can use the Jamboard, slide number 1, look at the questions in the yellow box and discuss them. Use the pictures for reference too. It's gonna be very important for you. Let me open breakout rooms now. Perfect. Okay, everyone is there. Don't forget you can share the screen in the breakout rooms as well so that everyone can see the Jamboard. Let's start.
Hello, Julio. Hello. Hi.
Hello. Okay. Search the...
Yes, Paola Alban is sharing. Yes.
I said.
Yes.
Okay. The
We
first
are-
question. Where
Yeah.
does the water you drink come from? The second, do you prefer tap water or bottled? It's easy to get access to water all over the world. Why? In the first question, I drink of bottled. I drink a bottle
Yeah.
because I suppose that it's clean.
Yeah.
And I can drink. Do you prefer tap water or bottle?
I prefer water because this water is healthy, purified and filtered.
Okay. Osvaldo, what do you think?
When okay, first of all, I want to understand what
Water and
Tap water.
some bottled water.
Yes, I prefer both. When I don't have bottled water, I take water for the tap water and boil.
Yes, but some of the times we think that tap water maybe have some bacteria,
Yes.
and we think that about bottled water sometimes it is exposed to different climates maybe, and sometimes they change and they got bacteria too.
Yes, I prefer the bottled water because I think that it is healthier. Yes.
Why it's healthier?
Yes, I don't know. And also I prefer boiled water. Yes, but I don't drink tap water. Never.
I think that's the best way is we boil water because we kill the bacteria. But if we don't have, in this moment, we can boil, we have have to use tap water or bottled water. It's the easy way for us, maybe.
Oh,
What do you think, Salome?
some cases when the water is, I don't know, when the water doesn't came to our houses, you need have a provisional water, in this case, other water. This is other factor.
Okay, but here in Ecuador, we have to boil the water because have a lot bacteria. Maybe in Cuenca have a pure water. Is the best water of the.
We waste our water. We waste our water when we wash our hands or water the different flowers. We waste them. But these countries don't have enough water. It's a problem in those countries like Africa. They are so pure. They are so, I suppose. Natalie?
Okay, I think it is not easy to access the water over the world, because some countries, for example, that the same my partner, because don't have have access to water, because, for example, escasez of water. I don't know how do you say escasez. No more. I think this. Okay, Osvaldo.
Yeah, as I said before, yeah, it is not so easy to get access to water. Maybe in cities or towns, we have just to go to the river and then take the water. But in other places, as the farm, for example, they don't have easy access to water. They have to walk long distances to get this liquid. Yeah, so that is one of the reasons that
Okay.
Hello, hello.
Oh, I'm gonna make this bigger because I would like to hear from you guys. There are 3 questions here that you discussed in your groups. What about the first question? What can you tell me about that? Who wants to jump in? Judy.
Okay, we talk about when we drink water from the tap or from the bottled water.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And we talk about the benefits, what they say, sometimes the bottle of water and the tap of water have some bacteria, and we have some problems sometimes with our healthy.
Which one has more bacteria, tap water or bottled water?
Depends of the country or the town.
Mm-hmm.
If we talk about rural areas,
Mhm.
we can say that the tap water, and maybe they prefer bottled water. Depends of the country and the city.
Which one do you prefer?
I prefer bottled water because it's my easy way for bring my bottled water, and for drink,
Mhm.
it's more easy.
Okay. What about you?
Um,
Yeah, tell me, Judy. Finish, please.
That's all what I'm going to say.
Okay, okay. Good. Paola, what else can you tell us about the discussion in your group?
Okay. We said that we prefer bottled water
Bottled water.
because bottled water because we can hydrate in different ways.
Mhm.
We said it's very easy to get in our country to get access of water,
Mhm.
but we are so worried because in another countries like Africa don't have enough water, and they have a lot of problems with his or her health. In our country, we waste our water.
Mhm.
We are so lucky. We are so lucky to get access to this water.
Okay. What kind of problems can people in these poor countries experience because of lack of water?
There's nutrition, I suppose.
Malnutrition?
Malnutrition, and health problems with their own health.
Okay.
Different illness.
Mhm. Okay, good. Now, is it easy to get access to water all over the world? Evelyn, what can you tell us about this question? What did you say in your group?
In my group, we said it's not easy because there are some places we don't have the source of water, la fuente de agua,
source.
like like the mountains, rivers, like Paola said, Africa, for example.
Okay. And how do people get water there?
Can you repeat, teacher, please?
Sure. How can people in poor countries, African countries, for example, get access to water if they don't have water systems?
No, I said I saw on TV, for example, the another countries help them with barrel of water, or because they don't have water.
They don't have water. And Osvaldo, these people who don't have access to water because they do not have water systems, do you have any idea how these people get water for their houses?
I think that they have to walk long distance in order to get this liquid. Okay, when we talk in group, so I noticed that when I was a child, I used to see my grandparents. Yeah, they used to live in a farm, so in order to get this water, they have to walk long distance. Even they have to use horses in order to get water. Yeah.
To find sources of water.
Yes, the sources of water.
Where do you find this water? Do you find this water in shops?
No, here in Cuenca, I prefer to tap water.
No, but my question is, for instance, in a farm where your grandpa used to live, where do you go? You're telling me that people, like here in the picture, walk long distances to get water, but where do they get the water from?
from I think that is in this picture, maybe they go to another city, another town, another village in order to get water.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah.
Good. Does anybody have other ideas? How can these people get water? Why do they walk long distances after all, if there isn't any water around? Where do
Drink of creeks, I suppose. These
creeks?
people drink of creeks
Okay, any other
because
idea?
I remember something.
Mhm.
When I was young, when I was young,
You are young.
when I was
Younger.
16 years old,
Okay, I was younger.
I remember our partners went to excursions and we lost and we didn't have any water
Mhm,
because it finished.
mhm,
And in this moment, we were so thirsty. We
mhm.
were so thirsty and we wanted to drink water and find different creeks and we drink it
Okay,
because we needed.
yeah, of course. So creeks are one
Mhm.
option. Are there other sources of water where people can get their water? Because they are carrying buckets. Can you see these women here in the photo? They're carrying buckets. So I suppose they might go to a creek. Or what are other options?
Maybe they get water from the rain.
Okay, rainwater. Let me write it here. That could be another option. Sources of water. Okay, we are talking about rainwater, we're talking about creeks. Any other ideas?
Waterfalls could be.
Okay. If there is a waterfall around, okay. But here in Africa, not really sure if they will find waterfalls, but could be an option, right?
There is water in different trees. For example, in the trees and plants, water in different trees and plants. For example, in the bejuco.
Oh, from trees. Okay, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Mhm.
You can use trees as sources of water. Okay, good. Now, there is a specific place where people can go. This is not a natural place. It is artificial, man-made. It is really deep, and you can pull the bucket of water, right? You collect the water from this place, and you then pull the bucket, and you go home. Do you know what place is that?
Well,
Aha, very good.
What's the name?
Well,
Well,
you can walk.
Yeah, here in Ecuador, the coast side, people use wells.
There are
Yes,
wells.
wells.
There are
Yes.
wells in the countryside.
Yes.
I remember when I was a child, I used to visit my grandpa in the coast, and outside the house, I had to walk just few steps, and my grandpa built a well. And whenever we need water, my grandpa used to say, go to the well and get some water. So we used to go running, collect the water and go. And one day, I really clearly remember, I walked to the well and I saw a huge spider. the spider was there in the well, and I was like really scared. And I said, no, I'm not collecting water from here. I hate spiders. So my cousin helped me. She was more used to it. But yeah, in my grandpa's house, there used to be a well.
They are underground rivers.
Not maybe if you find an underground river, you build a well so that you can collect water from there.
Is a pozo de agua.
That's correct.
Yes.
That's correct. A well.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah, wells. Good.
in our country, we can see that. Maybe in a lot of countries,
Yeah.
especially in the countryside. Especially in the countryside.
Correct. Correct. It's more typical to see wells in the countryside. But
Exist different place in Ecuador for the wells for weather, because the potable weather is very cost.
tap water. Tap water
Tap water is a very cost.
is expensive. Correct. Yes. So yes, there are places where they don't have access to tap water, so they use wells. That's right. Okay. Let's continue here. Now, before we read an article, because we're going to read an article about tap water and bottled water. But before you do that, here, there are some statements. And I would like you to think if you agree or disagree. Okay, so you have 30 seconds to read the statement and decide whether you agree or disagree. Okay. Then after 30 seconds, you will go to breakout rooms and you will compare your opinions with your classmates. Okay. 30 seconds. Now, please go in breakout rooms and compare your opinions with your classmates. Okay? Let's open rooms now. There we go.
And bottled water is delivered by containers. It's the difference. Both are so important. And when we were thirsty, we need all of this water. I suppose.
Yes, I agree. The number one.
Yes, so it is easy.
Okay, number two. Drinking bottled water is good for the environment. I disagree.
I disagree because we pollute this environment
Okay,
with all of these containers.
we use a lot of plastic with the bottles.
We will
Yes.
boil this water and we can use.
It's
Eh,
agree or disagree.
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 Disagree. It's
Number
not easy to the difference between this.
Yeah. Drinking bottled water is good for the environment. Drinking bottled water is good for the environment.
Agree.
I disagree. I
Agree.
disagree.
I think disagree
Because
because
water bottles pollution a lot.
Yes.
yeah.
Now it's simply to recycle and put the bottles on a can for recycle. It's necessary to use less bottles
Yes.
and
Depending for the
maybe
activity.
use a cup or I don't know. Yes, use a cup.
Depending for activity, because you step on a time,
Yes, use
you
fewer
need
bottles.
water,
Okay.
water bottles.
Thank you, Fabi.
Okay, number 3, not having access to water can have a negative effect on education.
Agree.
Having access.
Agree, because
Yes,
the
I agree
water
as well.
is vital for life.
Yeah.
People use water all the time for wash your hands, the toilet, drink water. So for education is a principal necessity.
Yes. It's very important, the water for the.
Agree.
Study have to drink water. Nutrition needs and these people say people have to drink water. It's good for the health and for education too. What do you think, Viviana? Not having access to water can have negative effect on the education?
Yeah, I think because the people normally don't have access to the water, they cannot go to schools normally.
And if we don't drink water, we feel tired too. And we need water for learn. We need water for learn.
Yes, for healthy too.
Yes. Next question. People spend too much money on bottled water. What do you think, Osvaldo?
Yes, I agree with that idea. Yeah, especially when you go to the beach and you want to drink water and you want to buy a bottle of water and it's expensive.
Yes. According to you,
Okay, Vanessa, so it is easy to tell the difference between tap and bottled water. Do you guys agree or disagree?
We agree with the statement number one because we know where came from this water. Yes.
I'm sorry, can you say it again, please?
Okay. We agree with the statement number one because we think that we know where the water is where from.
Okay, okay. But what about this, for instance? If you drank water here, would you say the water is tap or bottle?
I think that is boiled water.
It's bottled water. Why?
Or boiled water.
Okay, boiled, but again, tap or bottle?
Tap.
You think it's easy to tell the difference? Okay, okay. What about you, Judy? Do you think it's easy to tell the difference between tap and bottled water?
Tap and bottled water. I can say yes. Tap water is what you use from the faucet, and bottled water is some water that is in a plastic water.
Okay, I think I get it. Yeah, I know that basic difference, but the question is basically this. If I drank this water here, how do I know if the water comes from
You reverse the flavor.
Okay, might be the flavor.
Yes.
The flavor is different.
Of
Drinking
course.
tap water from bottled water. You think the flavor is different?
The tap water is more cold.
It's colder. Oh, really?
Yes. It's colder.
But if you go to the coast and you take it out from the fridge, it's okay. So the temperature can be a factor to differentiate tap water from bottled water.
The flavor.
The flavor, good. Any other ways to tell the difference between tap water and bottled water?
The color water.
Okay. The color.
And the tap of water have less bacteria than the bottled water?
Might be, for me, it would be difficult to say this.
Yes, maybe difficult.
Or be fewer bacteria. But
Friend with what the water.
Okay, okay. Personally, I cannot tell the difference between tap and bottled water. When I drink a glass, I might confuse easily.
The cloudy weather.
What's your question? Can you please clarify?
The different and water and the water and the other weather is a cloudy weather. Color weather and cloudy weather and
Okay.
I think the sabor a un
Flavor. A unique flavor.
Okay.
Tap of water have a different flavor.
Yeah, a unique flavor.
But depends, Fabian.
Depends.
If I drink water in Esmeraldas, it's different, the flavor from Loja.
Yes, in Esmeraldas is sweet. The water is sweet.
City to city.
And yes, the water, tap of water, I don't like. Esmeraldas water from the tap.
That's true, right?
Have different flavors, depend of the.
Yeah.
It's water of the ocean.
The ocean, no? Too.
Yeah.
Salada.
Right there.
Salty.
Yeah, that's true. If you go to the coast to Esmeraldas, you cannot drink tap water because the flavor is completely different, right? or from your city? Okay, that's interesting. What about number 2?
That's a question.
Viviana, what can you tell us about this one? What were the opinions in your group?
Okay, if we drink bottled water, is difficult for the environment because the plastic bottle, so okay, it's bad for the environment.
Definitely.
Mm-mm.
It's bad for the environment. Do you agree, Paola?
I think is this pollute the environment. If you drink of bottled water, but if you boil, it doesn't happen.
Now, when we drink bottled water, what happens to plastic?
The bottled water may cause pollution from plastics and microplastics, and we cause pollution because we use a lot of plastics.
What happens to that plastic? Where does the plastic go?
You can reuse the plastic for maybe make crafts or using a lot of things.
That's a good option, right? You can.
Yes, I agree with you. We have to recycle the plastics, but we have to think what we spend a lot of money with plastics too.
Yes.
And we are talking in our group, if we use a tomato, I don't know what's the name of tomato in English, but we can contribute, with the environment if we don't use a lot of plastics. That's what we have to recycle, and we have to not to use bottle plastics, bottle water.
But so my question is, what happens to plastic when people don't recycle?
Cause pollution for the environment.
How? Where does all the plastic go?
Stay in the land for a long time.
A long years.
It's difficult to how do you say, eliminate or erase? Erase plastic.
Degrading.
In this case, for many companies work with people catch the bottled waters.
Oh yeah, I've seen people collecting.
Collecting the bottles. Yes.
The destruction
For
of the
this
plastic
reason.
is our own time.
Correct. There are special places where all plastic goes, garbage and stuff like that.
The ocean?
Yeah.
The ocean, some plastic ends in the ocean. What about other places? For instance, here in Quito, we have Sambisa.
We can recycle all of this plastic in the app data in the different markets, in the different markets in Quito, I suppose. We can recycle all of this.
Correct.
And they give us different points to change our products or different products that are in the stores.
That's correct. Now, when people don't recycle, all that plastic goes to the garbage. And the garbage is collected and taken to a specific places where all the garbage is collected from all the city. One example in Quito is a place called Sambisa. If you go to Sambisa, you see tons and tons of garbage, and plastic is there as well. Do you know what people call these places?
Can you repeat the question, please, Fabi?
What do we call these places where all the city garbage goes? Landfills. Landfills.
Landfills. Landfills.
Please
Similar
repeat.
to cancha.
Landfills. The garbage is sent to landfills. The garbage is sent to landfills.
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 Landfills. Landfills.
Landfills.
Landfills. Correct. So Zambisa is a very big landfill here in Quito. And people who live in the area don't like it because they smell the garbage all the time.
The landfills, landfills. Landfill is for recycle or no? Recycle bottles?
Garbage.
All of garbage.
Only garbage. Oh. But here in Loja, we recycle. Loja is one of the city where we recycle organic and inorganic
Look,
It's so clean.
materials.
can you see the
I don't know, but when I travel to Guayaquil, I travel to Quito, they don't have that. We have a special container, green container for organic foods and black container for the other, inorganic foods, inorganic products.
Oh, that sounds good.
And we recycle, and the plastic bottle we send to the special company for recycling. Yes.
Good. Interesting. Very good. I see the people in Loja are very organized. Nice.
Yes, organized in that. We had a culture, we are culturized.
Yeah, very good. Now here in the picture, you can see a landfill. Okay.
But in any time I went to the, what's the name where we throw the garbage? Landfill, do you say?
Landfills.
Landfills.
In the landfill, yeah, but some people here in Loja, when some people don't recycle, have special people that have to separate bottles and separate inorganic and organic, because they have to separate plastics and organic foods.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, that's something that Salome also mentioned, that here in Quito, there are people who go around the city collecting plastic, so that plastic won't end in landfills, but be recycled. Okay, but that's a good option. Recycle.
Some people live from the recycle.
Correct. They live out of it. Correct. Okay, guys. So now we're going to read an article about tap water or bottled water. Which one is best? And I need you to read the article quickly. And by quickly, I mean just 1 minute and a half. You're gonna have 90 seconds. 90 seconds to read. Not 2 minutes, not 5 minutes, 90 seconds, okay?
No.
Because you only have to answer one question. Look at the question. Okay? Is the writer for or against bottled water? Are you ready? So here, page number 12, if you have your book open, you can go there in your workbook.
Landfills, okay.
Here we have the article. 90 seconds.
Let's see.
Your time starts now.
Well.
Okay, time up. Now please use the chat box here on Zoom and tell me for or against. What's the writer's opinion about bottled water?
Write in the chat.
Yes, please. Thank you, Evelyn. Thank you, Viviana. I have your answers here. I'm gonna wait for, thank you, Salome. Let's see more opinions. Okay, Paola, thank you very much. Thank you, Osvaldo. And yes, we are correct. The author is, he does not agree with using bottled water. Good. Now, Salome, how did you find the answer? Why against and not for?
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Yeah, my question is, what did you find in the answer, in the text, that made you answer against?
I read a sentence and I just got there. Yeah, it says we think bottled water is pure and clean, but it definitely isn't pure and clean for the environment. It's really bad.
Correct. So when we read, there are times when we need to find the general idea. And the general idea is usually found in one sentence. And we need to find that sentence quickly. As Osvaldo mentioned, the sentence here, we think bottle of water is pure and clean, but it definitely isn't pure and clean for the environment. It's really bad. This is a very clear sentence about the position of the writer. The writer is against the use of bottled water. Also notice the final sentence. In the last paragraph, the writer invites you to think about using other alternatives. If we didn't buy so much bottled water, we would have a lot more money to invest in water projects around the world. Now, wouldn't that be great? Notice how this question is inviting people, inviting readers to change their attitude towards bottled water. This is what we know as reading for the main idea. It is not necessary to read everything, but to find one sentence, which is generally at the beginning or at the end of the text. And this sentence will give us the answer. So we know that this writer is against the use of bottled water. Now, here, in activity B, you made some predictions or you express agreement and disagreement about different statements. Let's read the text again, and please find the author's opinion about it. For example, here it says, it's easy to tell the difference between tap and bottled water. What does the writer say?
We talked about that before.
Yes, but what does the author say? Look at the screen. It's easy to tell the difference between tap and bottled water. What does the writer say about it?
Experiments have shown that most people can actually tell the difference between the two.
Aha, very good. Most people can't tell the difference between the two. Maybe I can, right? I can, it's not difficult. If I go to Esmeraldas in Quito, the water is different, right? That's my opinion. But it is not what the writers say. Be careful. In Cambridge exams, in the reading section, there are sometimes questions that can be tricky, especially if you are misled by your experience. Suppose that you have a question that says, telling the difference between tap water and bottled water is easy, difficult, not mentioned. And because you can tell the difference and you say, oh, for me it's easy, so it's easy. Yeah, maybe for you, but this is not what's in the text. So you should be careful with reading the statements. All right? Judith, does that make sense?
Yes, I understand now.
All right, so
Here in the last paragraph, we can read, but what is interesting is that experiments have shown that most of people can actually tell the difference between the two.
so maybe I am not part of that group of people because for me it's easy to tell the difference, but the writer is showing me something different. And that's the question about. Now, here you have 3 more statements, right? Drinking bottled water is good for the environment. Not having access to water can have a negative effect on education. People spend too much money on bottled water. Please find the writer's opinion about these 3 statements. You have 3 minutes to do it. In your books, try to underline that part. Okay? So stop sharing this. 3 minutes to work. 1 minute left. Now, please go in breakout rooms and compare your findings with your classmates, okay? Let's go. Okay, you can compare your answers now.
Okay. Okay. I am going to sharing the screen.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, please, Vanessa.
Okay. I underline the ideas of the writer for statement number 1. Number 2, I'm sorry for the statement. He mentions about the environment. For the environment is really bad in this part. And about the cost, the writer say the cost of transporting it from one place to another is enormous. And there is the cost of keeping in refrigerators too. And the last statement about the education.
Education.
Yes. Okay, he talk about they have to walk enormous distance and back again.
Echar fuera, sacar, get rid of.
About these questions, there are a huge number of plastic bottles to get rid of. Many are recycled, but some have to go into landfills. And we had to continue with the next questions.
Not having access to water can have a negative effect on education.
Not
Yes.
having access to can.
Mhm.
We can check where is this according to the writer.
La oración que dice, this takes a lot time and it's one that there's so many.
Is the directions.
Sí.
Water is not necessary, but have water nutrition.
Abriendo recién. I open the book, the
Do
reading.
you have the reading?
Yes.
Hi, Fabian. Sorry, my internet doesn't work well.
Yeah, tell me, how can I help you?
What is the activity? I cannot listen.
Answer the questions.
Oh, we are just trying to check the writer's opinion about these statements using the reading.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Fabian.
You're welcome. Okay. Vanessa, could you please be kind and share your screen? Your group did a great job. Very well done. Show us, please.
Yes, I am sharing the screen.
Okay, so what was the second statement?
The second statement talk about I don't remember, about the environment.
Drinking bottled water is good for the environment, I think.
Yes, we underline this part.
What does the writer say about that?
He said we think, no. Yes, we think bottled water is pure and clean, but it definitely isn't. Pure and clean for the environment, it's really bad.
Aha, it's really bad. The next statement, statement number 3, mentions something about what?
About cost.
Okay.
The cost of bottled water, yes.
Okay.
We underline the cost of transporting it from one place to another is enormous, and there's the cost of keeping in refrigerators too.
Okay. So notice that the writer mentions that it is expensive.
Yes.
He mentions the cost is enormous.
Yes.
The cost is enormous. So notice that he does not use the word expensive, but he uses enormous, referring to the cost. Very well done. And the last one was something about the
Education.
In education. What does the writer
Yes.
say about that?
He said that they have to walk enormous distances and back again. This takes a lot of time, and it's one of the reasons many girls can't go to the school in some places.
So the effect is positive or negative according to the writer?
Negative.
Okay, good. So notice that the writer is not explicitly saying that there is a negative effect, but he's presenting an example of something negative. People or girls cannot go to school because they are busy collecting water. So, two things. Sometimes when we read, we are not going to find explicitly the writer's opinion. We need to infer what the writer says. As Vanessa shows here, this is a clear example. The writer is telling us that this is something negative, but he is not using the word negative, giving us an example. This is called infer. So we are inferring. Okay? And notice that we are not reading everything. We're just trying to find the specific information that I need. This is something that we need to practice to find, where is my text? To find the specific information and read that specific information carefully. Okay, only that the part that I need. And don't waste time reading the rest of the article because I don't need it at that moment. What questions do you have for me?
Fabian, teacher.
Osvaldo, go ahead.
Yeah, we read about the sentence that says that global annual spending on bottled water is more than 4 times that. So this is what
Very
happens.
good.
Yeah, when I read this, I infer that if the cost, okay, for a bottle of water is more than 4 times than the tap water, so it will cost more to the person that buy it.
Excellent. Excellent. So again, you're finding the specific information you need and using it. And that's exactly what we should do at times. We don't need to read everything, just find the parts that I need. Very good. Very good.
Thank you, teacher.
Let's continue. Thank you, Vanessa. Now, in activity D, we have a link. The link is going to open this Jamboard again, but this time you will find this activity. Notice the breakout rooms. Room number 1, room number 2, and room number 3. Find your breakout room number and together complete this activity. Okay, and then we will check. You have only 2 minutes to do it. Let's go to breakout rooms again.
Yes.
Vital, necessary,
Breakout
essential, number 5.
No, this is breakout room 3.
Oh, yeah.
So go
This-
to room number 3, please.
3.
It's the 3.
No, look at room 1. This is room 1.
Okay.
Okay.
The other side. The other side. Good. Continue. No, continue to the right.
The number 3.
No, room 3. No, slide 3. Room 3. Continue to the right.
To the right, to the right.
Yes. Again.
Yes.
There you are.
Okay.
Thank you.
If
Or phrases from the article with the correct meaning, we have to match A and B.
A with with the numbers, okay?
Yes, with the numbers.
With
I suppose that
vital
is with the
number 5.
Okay, scientific test number 2, experiments.
Okay.
Yes.
Large areas for garbage. Number 3, landfills.
Yes, landfills.
2.
Deep holes in the ground. Wheels.
Number 3 in landfills, Ligia.
Yes. Deep holes in the ground. Wheels. Very small organisms that cause disease. Bacteria.
Bacteria, number
4.
4.
Yeah.
Number 1 is proper.
We can left to the end, maybe. Good, adequate. Yes, proper. That's synonym. Yes, number 1, proper. Scientific test.
Necessary or essential. Number 5 is vital.
Vital, yes, you are correct. Necessary, essential, vital. Scientific tests, experiments. Number 2, experiments.
Yes, is the, yeah.
Deep holes in the ground where you can find water.
Where is deep holes in the, 6.
And 7, lack.
Are without something, lack, yes.
Without something.
We have to continue with the next.
No. The next is group number 3.
Oh, yeah.
The number 1 is
Fight. Okay, let's start. First word, vital.
Vital.
Vital. Osvaldo, what number?
Number 5, necessary or essential.
Okay, so vital. What is vital for humans?
Water.
Water is
Air.
vital.
Yeah.
Air.
Air.
Air is vital. Okay.
To breathe.
Vital for life.
Vital. What is, as a teacher, what is vital to teach your classes? So
Necessary or essential.
Students.
Our boys.
Students, definitely.
Yes.
It's both vital and lethal. Right?
Yes.
Vital and lethal. What's the next one? Experiments.
Number 2.
2.
Scientific test.
Scientific test.
Scientific test.
Number 2.
Scientific test.
Right. And it's experiment a noun, an adjective.
Experiment.
Noun.
It's a noun.
It's a noun.
Noun, yes, that's noun.
How can I use it in a phrase? Do experiments or make experiments?
Make.
Correct. You make experiments.
Make experiments.
Make experiments. Let me just make it again here. Make experiments. And what is the verb?
To experiment.
Experiment. Good.
Experiment.
Experiment. Very good. You cannot make an opinion about something. You need to experiment it. Okay. The next one, bacteria.
Bacteria, very small organism that cause disease.
Very good.
4.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Okay, good. Landfills.
Large areas for garbage.
Number 3. Large areas for
Large
garbage.
area for garbage.
Areas. Large areas.
Areas for
For
garbage.
garbage.
Areas.
What about
Are without something.
Very good.
number 7?
Deep holes in the ground where you can find water.
Wait a minute. If I say lack of water, is it something positive or negative?
Negative.
Negative. How can complete lack of, for example, lack of electricity? Can you give me more examples using the phrase lack of?
Lack of food.
Perfect. Lack of food. If I cannot breathe, it's lack of
breath.
Lack of air.
Lack
of breath.
Lack of
Lack of breath.
I cannot go to the party. I cannot go to the party. Nothing in my pocket.
Lack of money.
Lack of money.
Lack of money.
Yes, lack of money. Good. So notice how we can use the phrase lack
Lack of love.
Lack of
Lack of love, we can say like that.
lack of parties to be invited.
Yeah, I'm good. I have money, but there's lack of parties.
Lack of friends
Lack
in the
of-
party.
Correct. Number 8. No, sorry. Wells.
Well,
Number 6.
Number 6.
deep holes in the ground where you can find water.
And
Proper, good, adequate, or suitable.
Yes, with
One.
adequate or suitable.
Number one.
Mhm. Very good. So you can talk about a proper place, right? Proper behavior, proper attitude, proper systems, etc. Correct. Let's check. Well done.
We are so intelligent.
Oh, yes, you are. You're amazing. And here, remember to check these phrases with new vocabulary. Very well done. Now, our final activity. Let's read the article again. And this time we're going to answer one question. And the author basically thinks we should, and we have 4 options. Read the options first. Okay. Now you have 3 minutes to read the article and answer this question. Remember, this time you need to read the article carefully. Your 3 minutes start now. please use the chat box and write A, B, C, or D. What's your answer? In the chat box, please. Okay, the majority of people say C, so let's take a look here. Very good. Use the money to help provide safe water worldwide, because we're spending too much money, right? On plastic, and that plastic ends in landfills, and that money could be easily invested in water projects. Very well done. What's your homework? Your homework is to complete activity 5 on page 13 in your student's book. So here is your student's book again. And here we have activity 5. True or false? So this time you'll need to read it even more carefully. So no more than 5 minutes, please. Try not to spend more than that time. It will be too much. Read the text in about 5 minutes. Underline important parts. And then answer the questions. Before you read the statements first. That is super important, okay? Read the statements, then the article. 5 minutes in the article, and then you come back and you answer true or false. What questions do you have for me about the homework? No questions? All right, here we have the second part, which we will do on Monday, okay, with a different activity. So don't mind about that. Ladies, gentlemen, thank you very much for being here this afternoon. It's always nice to see you. In our calendar, in the document general guidelines, it says that on the 29th, you will have an evaluation. Ignore that. You won't have the evaluation, but we will have a very short quiz to review vocabulary and readings from what we have done so far.
Thank you, teacher.
But don't stress yourself if there is no quiz.
Very good, teacher. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll need to complete unit 2 as well to have the test. So we will modify that. Have a lovely weekend tomorrow. Cheer for Ecuador. I hope.
Yes, cheers.
Thank you.
And
Thank you, Fabi. Goodbye.
take care.
Thank you,
teacher.
Fabian.
See
Thank you, teacher.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye,
See you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye, Fabian.
Fabian.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye, classmates.
See you. Bye, Sarah. Take care.